Welcome back to another daily recap for Friday, November 22, 2024, at 7:36 a.m. Eastern. So they have already been down. This is pre-market, which you don't see here. They've already been down to visit this 591 area, and they've bounced back up. They're fighting back up here. You can see the last. This is essentially the close, open, high, low, close, or last 593.29. So they're fighting their way back up to this area here. Got a few levels. There could be some volatility at 9:45 this morning. There is a PPI, I believe. There's a PPI data release. So, of course, the market's open at that point, and that could move some things around. So I just want to be aware of what's going on at 9:45 in the morning. Otherwise, not a lot to say about these levels. They're fighting in important areas. Could be some more volatility. Hard to say on a Friday. Not going to predict anything. But whatever happens, we'll come back to this chart and analyze any trades taken in the E-minis based on how the SPY approached these levels and reacted off of them, following our rules. Catch you on the other side. It's after 5 o'clock, and we're back. Should be pretty straightforward. Did not take any trades today, as I mentioned this morning. Too busy. So I just looked at the market for the first time just a few minutes ago, and I can tell you what you would have done. Pretty straightforward. After 9:45, well, first of all, they opened right at this level at 593.67. I don't do anything. You probably know by now if you're paying attention. I don't do anything until 15 minutes has gone by after the opening bell. So that happened here. So 9:45 in the Eastern time zone was up here. I'm looking for a trade when they come back down into 595.10, or if you want to adjust it, 595.15. 5 cents toward price, and they bounced. Out of the money a little bit, but no big deal. There's your trade. So that was a long trade. I don't want to take any more long trades, but since they came back up into it from the underside, it's good for a recycle trade on the short side. We'll talk about that later. They came down into 593.67, so 593.72. Unfortunately, they came within 4 pennies, I believe it was, 593.76. So 4 cents and took off. I'm not going to trust that level again. I'm going to consider it done, at least for the long side of it. While they did come down and bounced, it would have worked if you chose to kind of front run this or scale in and also here, but I'm not going to count them because I'm treating every single level the same for the playing by the rules tracking log. So unfortunately, no trade there according to the rules, but after they got out of this upper level, there was enough time where if you wanted to take this level on the short side, you could have. Remember, it was 595.10, so I'm going to bring it toward price, 595.05, just to see if you can catch the trade. And I'll show you where the fumble threshold was on this level. You would not want certain things to happen above this red line. Obviously, down here is your 4 points or more in the E-minis. While they did get above this level, there was no danger. They came back down, gave a base hit somewhere in this neighborhood. The second official trade at this level is done for the day, as is this level for the long side. They never got below this level. So while they did mess around with this top level, perhaps you could have attempted more trades. I would have been happy with just the 2 trades. That's 8 points at a bare minimum. On the daily chart, they're up. We talked about them fighting some overhead resistance. Everything was bullish, and they're continuing to go higher. It's hard to kill a bull. So there's not a whole lot more to say. They're attempting the former highs in some of these other areas of resistance, which if they have enough strength, they'll power it through it. I also want to point out the IWM. We kind of nailed the low here, this zone, and they've been a lot stronger ever since, pulling out of that low. And since it's a Friday, let's take a look at the weekly chart, see if we can learn anything here. I mentioned before the timing it took them to get to this big rally after the election results. It said if they gave us a signal somewhere in this time frame within the next week or so, this could mean this was the top and they're going to come down farther, but they did not do that. So at this point, they're just kind of fighting this area, and they still look like they want to go higher. There's no guarantee they will. They could still attempt 600, maybe spike above it next week, and then give us some type of signal. But I'm not going to predict anything. That's just a presumption. Currently, everything is still bullish, well above all the moving averages. Here are the logs, PBR. You can see the one trade, well, the one level that was traded twice for 8 points, and then level 3 here was not triggered because of that near miss. And then I did not take any trades. 2 levels that were hit. What we're looking at here, like these totals, this is the cumulative total for the last almost 3 years. So the rate of return and the profit and loss and the averages, it's all based on just the rolling total here. Goes back, a long time. Why don't we just filter out the last week just to see what the numbers look like for 1 week? If you're playing by the rules, you can just take a look at the totals, traded 1 contract, 2 contracts, and so forth. Or if you're trading micros, just divide by 10. This is profit before commissions or fees or anything like that. But just to give you an idea, $50 a point per contract for the E-minis. You know how that works. Not too bad. A little over 4% rate of return for the 1 week. And then on my trades, let's do the same thing. I'll filter out everything for this week. So a little bit over 6% returns. Less trades if you compare playing by the rules. There were 4 trade days out of the week, or 4 days that were traded. I only traded 3 of the days, but I had a little bit better returns because I just made it easier for myself, honestly, and traded mostly just the mornings, which tends to work out better. Oh, yeah, that was cut off there. So 100% base hits, no money given back. But this is really end of day. I mean, I track the end of the day. It's all. The end of the day is the profit and loss percentage. But anyway, hopefully you get the idea of what these tracking logs are trying to convey. So that's a wrap for today and the week. I think we did pretty well. I hope you learned something and found some value in what I'm trying to provide in these recap videos. Thanks for the support. And like always, I'll be back on the next trading day, which will be Monday, with new levels and a new game plan, and we'll do it all over again. Have a great rest of your day or weekend, depending on when you're watching this. See you next time.